Welcome to the online training, Protecting Your Drinking Water from Lead. It is provided to you by the National Groundwater Association with support from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. This training takes about 15 minutes. The time you invest in it could protect your drinking water quality and your health. Lead is a metal that occurs naturally in the environment. It is poisonous to humans and animals when consumed. Common sources for lead exposure include soil containing particles from leaded gasoline or paint, household dust also containing lead particles, pottery, toys, and traditional cosmetics. The presence of lead in groundwater tends to be very small, almost undetectable. A greater concern is the presence of lead in galvanized steel pipes, certain brass used in plumbing fittings and fixtures or well components, and certain solder used to connect pipes and joints. Although lead content in these plumbing and well components has been greatly reduced in the last 30+ years, it can still be a health risk for older houses and well systems. No amount of lead is safe according to the National Institutes of Health. The National Groundwater Association recommends groundwater coming into a residential water distribution system be tested at least once for lead, particularly if the home has plumbing installed before the early 1990s, there are children under the age of 6 frequenting the home, or there are signs of corrosive water. Two factors that can affect how much lead leaches into drinking water are the length of time water is in contact with lead before being used, and the corrosiveness of the water due to either high pH or low pH. Question: the greatest threat of lead in drinking water for well owners is 1. Leaking waste from industrial sites and landfills, 2. Naturally occurring lead that gets into groundwater, 3. Galvanized steel pipes, 4. Certain brass used in plumbing fittings and fixtures or well components, 5. Certain solder used to connect pipes and joints, 6. Numbers 1 and 2, and 7. Numbers 3 through 5. The answer is number 7, 3 through 5. Here's another question. Since the 1980s, federal regulation has gradually reduced the health threat from lead in house plumbing and well components. True or false? The answer is true. In the late 1980s, and more recently in 2014, the federal government greatly reduced the amount of allowable lead in plumbing and well components. However, houses built prior to that time may still have a significant risk depending on various factors involving the groundwater chemistry and the level of lead in the plumbing and the well components. Question: no amount of lead in drinking water is considered safe. True or false? The answer is true. The National Institutes of Health states that ideally drinking water should have zero content because even minuscule amounts of lead can be harmful. How can I address lead in my water? First, determine the source of lead in your water. If groundwater entering your home is not the source, have a water well system professional look for any components that exceed government lead content levels. If the well system is not the lead source, have a plumber inspect house plumbing for problematic pipes, joints, or solder. If house plumbing or the well system are the lead source, homeowners have three basic options. 1. Replace the problematic components with new ones meeting federal lead content standards. 2. Treat drinking water with appropriate treatment technologies. And 3. Flush water that has been sitting in your water system for a long time, such as overnight, to remove water into which lead has leached. What treatment technologies effectively remove lead? There are reverse osmosis units, distillers, and certain filters. To help ensure effectiveness, the system should be NSF ANSI certified to reduce lead from 0.150 milligrams per liter to 0.010 milligrams per liter or less. High lead levels in water could be due to low pH. When pH drops below 7, water becomes acidic. Acidic water can cause lead to leach from plumbing and fixtures. Acid neutralizing systems generally are used to correct overly acidic water to prevent the lead leaching. Question: the first step in addressing lead content in drinking water is 1. Get a water treatment system to take the lead out of the water. 2. Replace any plumbing or well components with lead in them. 3. Adjust the water chemistry to neutralize lead leaching from plumbing. And 4. Determine the source of the lead. The answer is number 4. Determine the source of the lead. Knowing from where and why lead is getting into the drinking water can help determine how best to address the issue. For instance, while a water treatment system could effectively remove lead, so could replacing certain plumbing or solder. Also, whether one chooses a lead removal system or acid neutralizer to prevent lead leaching could have cost and maintenance implications. Here's a final question. What treatment technologies effectively remove lead from drinking water? 1. Reverse osmosis. 2. Distillers. 3. Certain types of filters. 4. All of the above. And 5. None of the above. The answer is 4. All of the above. Whichever technology is used, the system should be NSF ANSI certified to reduce lead from 0.150 milligrams per liter to 0.010 milligrams per liter. Visit www.wellowner.org to find out more about useful well owner tools, including a private well owner hotline, a monthly private well owner tip sheet, more online well owner lessons, and free well owner webinars. Don't forget to check wellowner.org for other online lessons if you have questions like, what should I test my water for? How should I maintain my well? How can I help keep my water safe? What should I do if my well floods? How do I get water treatment? And what should I know about getting a new well?